How's it going, people? Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to the Big Six Top 6 series. It's about time we finish this one off. It's been a little while. The Strikers one hasn't been done yet. If you don't know what the Top 6 series is about, then make sure you check out the rest of them, from goalkeepers, centre-backs, full-backs, centre-mids, attacking mids, wingers. And now we're about to finish it off with the Strikers. And we've looked at the comments and taken some notes, and you wasn't happy with the format we done it in. To be honest, after Giggs finished first in the wingers, I wasn't happy with the format.
Man. Leave it out, man. I know there's a bit of jealousy going on here, but Giggs, like, it's clear, innit? Bending like Beckham, it's all good, man, innit?
I feel like we should do that one again, but it's what it is. We've done it. We've done it. We've tarnished our name. We've tarnished our brand. It is what it is.
Listen, the brand's got better. Big Six going global. You know what I mean?
I said bang, global Giggs, you know.
Come on. Fox News, man. Come on. You know what I mean?
Fox News, yeah, cool.
Come on.
Big up Fox News. But listen, we're going to finish off the Strikers one. We've taken notes from you guys, and the way you guys want us to do it is everyone sends in their list to me, which everyone has done prior to this one, regarding the Premier League top 6 strikers. 6th place is down to you in the comment section. So watch this video, see who we've got from 5th to 1st, and then vote for your 6th place. I'm going to pin a comment right below, so make sure you leave your vote for 6th position right there. And when we publish it on the socials, we'll include your vote for 6th. And it is the Strikers time. Everyone sent in their list. Just a heads up, if you've put a striker 5th, that striker gets 1 point toward the total. If you've put a striker 1st, that striker gets 5 points towards the total. And we're going to start in 5th place and work our way to 1st. In 5th place...
Who wants to kick it off?
Harry Kane.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm surprised myself, but here we are.
You're reading out like that.
Here we are.
Oh.
So that means...
I think it's fair, though.
Why is it? Yeah.
Because he's still playing, innit? Still doing his thing. So for him to be in 5th now, that's a compliment for him, innit?
No, it's too much of a compliment, I think.
what I
You're
think.
saying he shouldn't be there. I'm thinking
No,
it's
I
too
think he
much.
should be there.
No, I'm saying Grizz is saying he shouldn't be there. Yeah. I mean, considering the names I've got on my list, and obviously we're going to talk about them, but Harry Kane, look, again, it's going to be one of those when we have to break it down into what criteria we're using.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And I get it. He's still playing. What's he won? What's he won? Yeah, but
Not
look
this
at
again.
Yeah, but that's...
Look at the team he's playing for.
Are we doing
Look at the team he's playing
individual
for.
achievements, or are we doing team achievements?
It's got to be a combination of a few
gotta be
things.
a
Okay. So let me hear this straight. Yeah. So the Harry Kane thing, he's third. He's third on the all-time goal scorers list right now. He's third.
Yeah.
And he's 28 years old.
Yeah, that's why.
Let me take a sip. Let me. By the end of this season, Harry Kane will be second, tied with Wayne Rooney. I promise you on that. Yeah. And
Promise you heard it first.
This is before 30 years old. Yeah. He's hit 20 plus goals in like 5 seasons. First season, second season, third season. Yeah. 4th season. Why are you only looking at me? No, I'm just saying.
Because you're the one that said that he shouldn't be in. And you need to give him extra credit.
I agree.
You're the one that opposed.
You have to give him extra credit because he's playing for Tottenham.
Even if you say you agree with Grizz as well, that every single metric, his goal-to-game ratio is, I think it's like top 3. I think him, Aguero, and I can't remember who the other person is, highest in the Premier League. Now he's diversifying his game. Even when you look at goals scored outside the box, he's in the top. I think he's in like the top 5 for most goals scored for a striker outside the box.
I think as a Premier League striker, he is up there with it. I just think, though, he's changing his game. I think he's going like the way Rooney did. He's dropping deeper. He's not that box-to-box striker anymore, and especially at Tottenham now with the way Conte is playing, the system, he finds himself coming deep, and he's coming deep looking for the ball because he's not getting involved in the game. So is he going to continue on that level?
The only reason why I didn't put him in there, because his career's not finished yet, and I think for me, that's why it'll be more beautiful if it's later on. I think right now, for me, I don't know if it's a lot of recency bias, I don't know, but I wouldn't put Harry Kane in this top 5 for me. That's just my own opinion. I think Harry Kane is a story that's gonna end, and I think that's when the time is right.
I hear that.
Like the Mo Salahs, you know what I mean? Because Grizz was looking to put Mo Salah in there.
Yeah, but we put Mo Salah. We put Mo Salah in wingers list, and he's an active player. My thing is the criteria is set. We're talking about the best strikers Premier League history, right? Why why do we have to wait until Harry Kane's career is done? Because
there's others that have done for me better in what they achieved. You have to co-link.
I think we got to see. I think we got to see the rest of
you got to name the moments. You got to name the others. But what you have to also take into consideration is the others have played. The names that you mentioned above, they've played for better sides. They've played for better sides.
Still have to perform though.
Yeah, of course. And I'm glad you said that, because if we're going off performance, then how can't you put Harry Kane in this list?
And
how
does
can't you put him in this list if you're going on performance?
Say, if you put Harry Kane in that Man City team, you think he ain't going to perform? Because I know he is.
Ifs, buts,
Man United.
I know it's ifs, buts, and maybe.
Okay, yeah, if, buts, and maybe. So we're going off individual. Yeah. So Harry Kane has still done his thing, no matter the team.
You know what? I agree with you. No matter the team. If you look at goals, 100%. If you're judging it by goals scored, then there's a very strong argument.
And as a footballer, in the list.
But yeah, not even just goals. As a footballer,
I think he's better than a lot of strikers.
What about a striker that was focal point to a title-winning side? Now, he might not necessarily have the amount of goals Kane has, but that is a metric in itself. When you look at teams that have won league titles.
100%. When we're
like
doing,
Didier Drogba.
When we're doing a kind of banter, when we banter Toby and sort of Harry Kane and Spurs, whatever, one of the elements that we always bring out, one of us always brings out is when it mattered. What did he do? Pressure situations. What did he do? So I know you're going to mention these strikers that play in better teams, but those strikers in pressure moments at the highest level, in finals, in league title winning runs, came to the front. Harry Kane has played in a final or two, I believe, and quite a few big games and won. And I agree with the majority of what you said. It's a very convincing argument. I reckon by the end of his career, if we'd done it again, he'll probably be in the top 5. But right now, one of the accusations of him is, when it comes to the crunch, where's Harry Kane?
I think that's a harsh statement to make, but I think it's understandable because he's played in in his club career, he's played in like 4 or 5 finals. In the list that we're going to go ahead now, you'll see the strikers that are mentioned, and you lose count.
They've got moments though.
Yeah. They've got moments.
Big pressure moments.
You say big pressure moments, but you're forgetting who Spurs were before Pochettino came in, yeah? And you're forgetting who Spurs were before Harry Kane emerged as a striker.
I get it, but then it becomes this Letizia argument.
Yeah, but it's
then
not.
It becomes one of those ones. Letizia was
you say it's the Letizia. You say it's the Letizia argument, but Letizia is not outperforming greats. Letizia did not outperform Premier League greats. Harry Kane has outperformed Premier League greats. We talk on strikers like Didier Drogba, Ruud van Nistelrooy, etc. Harry Kane's
Don't forget, one of the best, Alan Shearer. What did he win? One Prem. There you go.
If you take that away from him, where do you put him then? Is that going to be?
And he's still there.
He's still there. If he wins no Prem, he's still there.
So what are we trying to say? Are we trying to say everyone's easy with this?
No, I'm just thinking.
It's 30.
I had him there. It sets well with me, but I'm just saying it's strikers in it. So forget what they won. I think it's just strikers. And
did they get goals?
The fact that Harry Kane has not won 0, he's not been in a great side. Some of the strikers we're going to mention have had great playmakers and people like that.
I get that.
But I think Harry Kane, for me, he's done well to get in there, but I'm not arguing with it.
I think it should contribute to his argument to be in there, the fact that he's got this many goals and he hasn't always been in great teams, and he's currently in a team with no playmaker and he still gets goals. That should work.
He's obviously been picked in some of our lists if he's in there.
Grizz made a good point about like strikers usually coming crunch, because there are names on this list. Like for me, I didn't put Didier Drogba on my list, but and I know maybe
a lot of his good, I'm going to be honest, as a Chelsea fan, a lot of his good work has been done in cups, in cup finals, in Champions League. So that's not Premier League. So
exactly.
So that's why I'm not even going to get angry
exactly. That's what I'm saying. And I would put Didier Drogba as one of my best ever Premier League strikers. Yeah, but he's literally the definition of like when the big moments
clutch
shine,
player.
He's clutch, yeah. But when you look at his performances on the whole, he had, I think, like 2 seasons where he scored over 20 Premier League goals.
2 seasons.
Two seasons. Yeah. He had injury records as well, etc.
Fair enough.
But in title-winning games, he was there, though.
He was.
Yeah, title-winning games, when he was a Man United fan, Didier Drogba was scoring.
He was there. Who was he playing for? Yeah. He was playing for Chelsea.
Some of the Chelsea teams weren't that great, you know?
No,
especially the 11-30.
And he got off to a slowish start at Chelsea.
I get what you mean, but they weren't.
There was even like a couple years in, people were like, don't even know if this guy's even going to do it. Do you know what I mean? Like he didn't just house on fire immediately, just set a light like kind of Kane did.
Yeah, sorry, my last point on this as well.
Make your last point, innit?
My last point. Yeah, this will be my last point.
This is the only point, man.
I don't really like the even though it's not an unfair argument, I don't really like but so-and-so contributed to a Premier League title. Okay, cool. But if Harry Kane was put in that position, do you not think he's going to offer something similar? If Harry Kane was playing for Man United when they were spearheading title charges, do you not think he's going to be a significant contributor to their title campaign?
Or do you think he's just going to just disappear?
Exactly. If he went to Man City, Steve, do you not think he's going to do the same? If he played for Liverpool, do you not think he's going to do the same? Chelsea, do you not think he's going to do the same?
No, we're not. I think we're not saying that. Come on, we're just saying it's touch and go.
You know what we're going to do as well, because we're going down the list from 5 to 1. Once that list is there, I'm going to touch in on the names that were not mentioned, and then maybe we come back to Kane and then have a debate.
I'm just saying,
I think we've spent too long considering he's in the list.
I know. It's just.
He's actually in the list.
We spoke about Shearer one title. We spoke about Shearer. I got him in the list. We spoke about Shearer one title.
I haven't put him in the list.
Mohamed Salah's only got one title. You take that title away, suddenly. Is he
That's why I was a bit uneasy that he was in the list last time.
You know what I'm saying? You can't do that.
That's why I was uneasy about the last time when it was
Look, I don't want to bring it back to Liverpool, but again, it's the Shearer argument. His record will still be there.
Exactly.
No, that's what I'm saying. But that's why he's in there.
But you didn't want him there.
But that's just but you understand.
Judging by this, us three didn't have him in the list.
I had him in
and Tobes obviously had him in the list.
So 3 of us didn't. 3 of us did.
Well, he got into fifth place with 4 points out of the lot. So he only had 4 points, but he managed to get fifth.
Fair enough. Yeah.
That's a great start.
Yeah. Cool. And you know what? When you look at it as a whole, it's still Harry Kane, innit? You know what I mean?
No, I'm not asked with it.
Yeah. I'm not.
Toby's convinced me.
Now let's move on to 4th.
Football's a humbler.
Okay, you got me.
4th place with 10 points is Wayne Rooney.
Oh, that's a bit harsh, guys. Come on.
Actually, to be fair, it can go both ways. It can go both ways.
Seriously, guys?
I just heard arguments against Drogba not being in the list that could run for Rooney. Drogba got 20 goals, twice in the Premier League? How many times did Rooney get 20 goals in the Premier League?
Yeah, but you also have to take into consideration the position Rooney was playing in his early years at United.
Early years, but man was basically
late
giving Ronaldo goals on the plate.
And then
later years.
And then you also got to look at the fact that Wayne Rooney is literally second. I think, fourth, sorry. I think he's fourth. No, he's second. He's second.
He's second. I was going to say, what do you mean fourth? He's second.
He's second.
So Harry Kane will beat the record. But for me, man, guys, I'm a bit shocked. He's fourth. Well, like I said, it is a top 5. It is top 6.
I think after the way that you spanned the previous episodes, I think you have to hold this.
No, man,
the way that you bend it like Beckham, you're gonna have to hold this one.
No, listen, I'm gonna bring my case. This guy, when you talk about big game players scoring goals in their vital moments, sometimes carrying United, because again, in that spearhead, it was Ronaldo, Tevez, and Rooney, but you could see Rooney was the real driving force behind everything, every attack, every break, and almost leave it on a plate for Ronaldo scoring all them goals. But when he was spearheading the attack, he did score goals. 11-12 season. I know Man City.
9-10.
You know what I mean?
09-010.
Yeah, and 09-010. Again, top scorer.
He was looking like maybe best player in the world.
That's what I'm trying to say to you. So for me,
I'm saying
on that stage,
if we're going to talk about natural footballing ability,
let me
finish. Let me land in, brother.
He's on your.
I'm ready. I'm ready.
I'm saying this as a Liverpool fan. And obviously Evertonian. He's not Mancunian. He's an Evertonian. If you're talking natural footballing ability, he's probably first or second in this list, I reckon. And that's I'm being real, innit? Like real is real, innit? Like he's a
street baller.
He's a wonderful footballer, and the fact that he was so flexible to be able to play amongst any attacking position is a testimony. But then I get Turkish's argument about he only scored 20 twice, and we should have put him in a different position then maybe.
And that's my argument with Rooney. Listen, I'm not debating whether Rooney's a great player. And of course, in terms of football player, he's a great player. But for me, he doesn't make the number 10 list. He doesn't make the strikers list. He was pushed on the wing a few times. He doesn't make that list. I have to ask why Ferguson chose to buy Tevez whilst he had Rooney. Why Ferguson chose to buy Berbatov.
That's how squad wins your titles.
Options, literally.
Squad wins. He's doing it in the 99
thing is as well, though, you look at Kane,
Options.
he's the main man. He's the main man at Tottenham.
Everyone else.
Right? He's the main man at Tottenham, yeah? So he's always going to be playing week in, week out. Alan Shearer at Blackburn Rovers was the main man at Blackburn and Southampton, week in, week out. Wayne Rooney wasn't always the main man. Ronaldo, Tevez, Berbatov, all them players were there. So it wasn't always on him. It's like at City now, the last few years we played with a false 9. The goals was on everyone.
Yeah, but Turkish is saying,
you know what I mean?
Does that work for or against him for you?
I think it works for him because I think he's to get that amount of goals he did in a team like that when everyone else was chipping in all around the park. You know, Ronaldo was on fire and things like that. I think it shows that he was up there. If he'd have gone to say, because Newcastle wanted him at the time, United bought him. Say he'd have gone Newcastle and he'd have been Newcastle's main man and he'd have had an half-decent team, he'd have got over 20 goals a season because he'd have took pens, he'd have took free kicks, he'd have been the main man. At Man United, Ronaldo's all over everything. Tevez is coming on late in the game because Rooney's physique, tired late on, they wanted energy. So I think it's a credit to him, to Rooney. I think it's a credit to Rooney.
He hasn't scored 20 goals season, but
he has twice, I think.
Yeah, twice said,
That doesn't matter to me.
Second Premier League
exactly, that doesn't matter to me.
Because he's a great football player.
And he played a long time.
Anytime he got a proper 9 in a Tevez or Berbatov, because of his quality all round, he would be the one to move. When you had that Champions League winning team, it was Ronaldo, Tevez, then Rooney in reality.
But I'm going to be fair.
He was still the main driving force.
But it wasn't Ronaldo, Tevez, then Rooney. It was Ronaldo, Tevez, and
Rooney. Yeah.
So he was. If anything, I think he was the second most important attacker in that team. I'm going to be honest. I'm going to be fair.
He was a cog behind.
I'm going to be. He was because he's the one that he was. His all-round game was excellent as well, and the fact that he was playing off the left and he's getting double figures. When he's playing off the left and he's getting double figures for Man United. And when Ronaldo, I think the biggest mark for me, Wayne Rooney, that he has to be in this unequivocally, is when Ronaldo left, when Tevez went to Man City, when all the stars left Man United, and it was basically Valencia comes in and Wayne Rooney's basically carrying.
Yeah, I remember that season.
Carrying
that 9-10 season.
He went crazy.
That was his best season by far.
And then you got 10-11.
He went absolutely ballistic.
But that shows you that when he needed to step up on his own, he did. But when United was in the prime, they had a great side. So I just think it's a testament to Wayne Rooney that he's on this list playing in a great side.
One thing I'll actually give him is that he's actually one player that ruffled feathers at Man United in regards to contracts and that. And Ferguson didn't turn around and say, "There's the door."
Yeah.
Ferguson
started crying and all his mates in shit trainers turned up at his house and threatened him because he thought he was signing for City. They threatened him because he thought he was signing for City.
Wayne Rooney out.
No, I'm not going to lie to you.
Did he not hand in
He was going to City, man. He was going to City.
One time for us, and when he was linked with us, I said, I would die to see this
Mourinho wanted him.
Because the thing is with Roman Abramovich, he wanted Gerrard. He wanted Ferdinand at one point, and he wanted Rooney as well. And the reason why is because Rooney is the one player that you could have played with Drogba. When he signed Torres, it was never going to make sense.
That'd have been frightening.
It would have never made sense. Everybody knew Torres and Drogba, one's going to have to play, one's going to have to sit on the bench. With Rooney, you know that you can put him in with anyone. And I think when a player is able to adapt positionally, responsibility, tactically, keep dropping deep, moving left, moving right, and still does not drop off, that only works.
But you're saying that he would have came to complement your striker. And this is why I have a problem with being in the list.
Because he was a great passer. That's because he was a great passer as well.
You always have
two strikers. And Bergkamp was top of our AM list.
No, he was a great passer as well. That's why.
I think with the Wayne Rooney thing as well, though, when you talked about not him wanting, at the end of the day, Van Persie came through the door. So at the end of the day, Man United then valued him.
I totally get what
And when Van Persie came in, who was the boss?
Yeah, but again, Van Persie was the actual number 9. We needed a number 9.
But the thing is,
Man City just won the league.
But the thing is, I totally get what
I hear what you mean. But that's down to we want to win trophies first.
But the thing is,
no,
but the thing is, right? If we don't put Rooney in any of these lists, it's a travesty, isn't it?
No, I get that.
He's in it, man. He's in it.
So if we're saying we're not going to put Rooney, he wasn't in the left wing list or wingers. No, attacking.
He's not in the attack.
He has to be in a list because he's one of the greatest talents this country's got.
I get what you mean.
Even Turkish's point though, again. Look at the teams that we're talking about. They're not just teams. Yeah, I get what you're saying. Oh, yeah, one main man. But these teams, they don't rest on their laurels. They always improve. They always strengthen their teams to make sure they're competitive. Man United at one point had Rooney, Tevez, and Berbatov because why? They wanted to maintain their dominance. Man City, when they were going out big, they didn't just sign Tevez, even though they played top. They had Tevez and Adebayo. Before that, they signed Roque Santa Cruz. Yeah.
Edin Dzeko, Aguero.
Edin Dzeko signed in January, even though they knew they were going to sign Aguero in the summer. They didn't care about who's gonna. But you need both when you're competing on all fronts.
I think we just had different ambitions.
I think Wayne Rooney, if you wanted to play, I think on the Chelsea point as well. Yeah, on the Chelsea point, it's interesting. Matisse says he's going to complement Drogba, but anyone who, if we actually deep it, Didier Drogba, he suffered with a lot of injury issues at Chelsea, it wouldn't have been a case of
I think if Rooney goes to Chelsea with Drogba, he outscores Drogba.
Right,
100%. 100%.
Easily.
I think he does. And
I think Drogba complements Rooney.
Yeah. And what
Battering ram, knocking it down, bringing it down.
It would have been the Van
Obviously,
Persie similar situation.
Obviously, Nicolas Anelka was the one that took that sort of mantle of playing with
Did well that
Drogba when he was
season,
fit.
though.
And
Yeah.
2009,
Anelka was excellent. But you got to remember, Anelka had a full season when he was basically playing by himself up top because why? Didier Drogba was injured.
Yeah.
So
I think though, just to kind of conclude, I don't think Fergie would have took it any other way because we were looking to kind of make sure we're winning everything. But still, it shows you the true testament of Wayne Rooney that he still came second.
As a football player,
Yeah.
I'm with you.
No,
guys.
he makes a list, man. But
He's made the list. There's no argument.
Yeah, that's it.
We're just
Yeah.
debating, you know.
But
I think as a list, we get to the end of the list and we can look back at the list and think maybe who could have replaced
missing?
Rooney
Yeah,
or maybe
yeah,
who could have
yeah.
replaced
Kane,
Kane. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
No, but as I said, he's got to be in a list.
Yeah.
When we're talking about
That's
wingers,
fair.
attackers,
That's
he's got to
fair.
be in a
Yeah,
list.
yeah.
Otherwise, it's mad.
So
People are gonna think we're messed
Kane's
in the head.
fifth, 4 points.
They think that anyway.
Rooney's fourth, 10 points. In third place, I can't look at any of you, but if the Big Six ever becomes the Super Seven, then maybe the Newcastle fan would make an argument. But Alan Shearer is in third place, 15 points.
I'm fine with that.
I think that's
I'm
fair.
happy with that.
I'm fine
Alan
with that
Shearer
as
was
well.
one of the
I
best
think that's fair.
Premier League strikers ever.
Best
Obviously,
finisher ever in the Premier
yeah,
League.
the goals he scored, and obviously he did at Blackburn, him and Sutton. Obviously, they did just tearing the league apart.
won the league,
Southampton when he burst on the scene, he was just an out and out traditional number 9 battering ram for me. And in modern times, we've gone away from that kind of striker, but we're now bringing that striker back. In his day, you had Les Ferdinand, you had all them kind of players. He was head and shoulders above them all. He could score every type of goal possible. Left foot, right foot, volleys, headers, long range, short range. He was literally just a great out-and-out striker. And I think a Premier League list without Alan Shearer, that wouldn't sit right with anybody.
Yeah. I mean, I remember recently, I think about 5-6 months ago in one of my WhatsApp groups, football related, there was a big debate. Someone asked, who is the Premier League's best finisher of all time? Fowler was mentioned. Henry was obviously mentioned. And I went for Shearer, reason being because of what you said. Finisher doesn't just mean through on goal on your favoured foot.
Yeah.
It means
All types of finishing.
heading.
Yeah.
Right foot.
as well,
free
Shearer.
kick.
Sky do the series, don't they? The 100 Club, or whatever it is.
Yeah.
And it's brilliant. You watch them all. But I watch them and see the kind of goals he scored and
goal
think
he
to
scored
myself,
against Chelsea.
how did he get that? Or he was brave to get his head in there. And
Volleys,
Shearer was the same. He was just literally and out. And his career, he probably sits there now looking at his trophy cabinet and he made some errors. You know what I mean? Man United wanted him at the time.
Yeah.
But I respect it because he loved his club. So, I mean, we're all fans of our club and I'd probably do the same.
It's like Totti at Roma.
I'd probably turn down Real Madrid and go and sign for City in the second division.
I think
That's just because of
Shearer,
blind loyalty, innit? Because that's what happens.
Similar to the Kane point, I think the fact that Shearer has only won one Premier League title and stands firmly minimum top 3.
testament, yeah.
He has to be top 3. It tells you how good he was in the Premier League. Like the sheer consistency and the variety of goals as well. He could hit a power driver. He could dink it over a goalkeeper as well. And until the injuries caught up to him, he was awesome. Like
and even he went to Newcastle. And even at Newcastle, obviously, they
England
were
as well,
unlucky
scored.
not to win the league, and that Kevin Keegan, the football he brought, and that. But he was fantastic there.
I
Shearer
think
was
he's just an all-time GOAT, innit? Like,
Shearer was your all-time, back in the day.
Back in the day,
Yeah, Steve. Me and you.
I've got his autograph at home.
Didn't he break? Your traditional.
Didn't he set the world record?
Your traditional Roy of the Rovers striker.
When he went to Newcastle.
Yeah. It was
That
massive.
was the world record fee at the
massive,
time. So it tells you the significance of playing.
Absolutely. Look, no frills. He's one of those strikers that you watch in a game and you think to yourself, he doesn't get involved in anything much.
But then he hit a volley from 40 yards.
And then suddenly, like born to score goals.
And run off with that shit celebration where he just holds his hand.
Basic, man.
basic.
No.
But then again,
The thing is, in the modern day, and with social media and everything, I dread to think what these tacticos would have made of
these
Shearer.
football tacticos, man.
They would have said, "What is this guy?"
Yeah.
But every coach would die for Alan Shearer right now. Every modern coach as well, I'm talking.
Because he sniffs goals, innit?
Yeah.
Easy.
It's not even sniff. Yeah, he's just
literally
born,
any chance, bomb.
literally born to score goals.
Easy.
I don't know if that's if he's got a motto or catchphrase or anything, but that is Shearer was born to score goals. And you're right. The variety of goals. I agree with you. If there's one finisher that you rely on and you put your mortgage on, Alan Shearer, and we all support different teams.
Who's come closest for you since you've watched Shearer and everybody since has come after? Who's come closest to you for finishing like that?
I mean,
that you've seen.
I mean, yeah.
There's two for me. Who? In terms of finishing, Aguero has to be there.
And Kane, I think.
Aguero can finish left, right,
I've got to say Harry Kane. I've got to say Harry. Great shout.
But there's a considerable gap, in my opinion, in terms of finishing. Because again, if you mention all round
power strikes,
a cross into the box, Shearer. A free kick, Shearer. A volley outside the box, Shearer. Inside the box, left foot, right foot, Shearer.
Of course. There isn't. I agree with you.
Is it likable?
I agree with you.
But he was
in terms of the closest resemblance, it's got to be Kane. Aguero for me was different.
Trust me, Aguero finishing is scary. Scary.
Yeah, same that 100 club. The left foot, right foot.
Scary, bro.
And Aguero was. We'll probably get onto Sergio soon, but like you say, he was so small.
Hope so.
And tiny for the Premier League. It was a gamble, the size of him and that. But look what he done, man. I'm not here.
Testimony to Shearer, though. Like, we'll get on to the other players. Yeah, Shearer is just as I said, your Royal Rovers.
Unreal.
Proper old school striker. You can imagine him he's one of those, you can imagine him from Sunday League all the way to the top.
Playing the same way,
but do something about it.
Yeah.
Like, you think to yourself, we're going to mark him out of the game. He's basic striker, put 2 people around him. He'll score. He'll score a goal.
Yeah, he was good.
Yeah. So rounding it up, Kane 5th, 4 points. Rooney 4th, 10 points. Shearer in 3rd with 15 points. And we move on to 2nd. Second, we have...
I know.
You know?
Yeah.
Go on.
It's going to be Henry, isn't it?
No.
You're a madman. You're a madman. We've already mentioned him, Steve. It's Aguero. 24 points, Sergio Aguero.
Easy.
You've seen my argument with Aguero for what I think he's number 1 for me.
I saw that.
I think he's number 1 because I've said it before. Thierry Henry came to the Premier League. The Premier League suited pace, power. Yeah, if you've got pace and power in the Premier League, you do things. These people in the Premier League now who are not that great players, but they've got pace and power and earning a crust. Sergio Aguero came there, and we've seen it recently with Martinez. He's a midget. He can't get involved with that. He's too small. The physicality of the Premier League. Sergio Aguero came in, yeah, and everyone was like, "Ooh, bit of a gamble. He's a bit small. He can do it in Spain and all that." Look what he done. He literally carried Manchester City, left foot, right foot. He was a fantastic player. And I don't think he gets the credit he deserves because he plays for Manchester City. Because everyone goes, oh, yeah, it's Manchester City and all that. Thierry Henry was unbelievable. Sergio Aguero was unbelievable. Yeah. But more hat-tricks, Aguero. Goals per minute, Aguero. More goals, Aguero. More trophies, Aguero. Formidable season, Aguero. Centurion season, Aguero. So the Henry thing, yeah, if you're an Arsenal fan of a certain generation, you like Henry, I respect it. But for a Man City fan growing up, I'm going to back my man. And it'll always be a debate amongst football fans, but I've just put the facts on the table. And if we want to go down that route and talking facts, Aguero beats him every time.
Yeah, I think Steve's got a point, I think as a natural striker.
Beats him every time.
I think Aguero is a better natural striker, but as a better overall player, don't get me wrong, Henry's clear. And I think it goes the same with when people argue.
Yeah, you can't put Aguero on the wing.
Samuel Eto'o.
You can't put Aguero on the wing. You put Henry on the wing.
Same argument for me. If you're looking at Samuel Eto'o as a striker, I think he's better.
I'm agreeing with you, even though I put the reverse list. I'm agreeing with you, but it's that Rooney argument we started off with in terms of Henry can play, and Henry's that footballer. Henry as a footballer is better. Than Aguero.
That's what I'm trying to say.
But this is
if we narrow it down to a striker,
if
we narrow it down to a striker and just striker. Look, whatever Steve said, I do agree with.
Yeah.
But again, Henry, it's like, I let
creating more chances.
Yeah. No, I think it's easy to pick Henry because some people are lazy. But I'm just saying, take the facts into account. Henry and Aguero are up here for me. But what I'm saying is, listen to the Aguero argument. Look at the facts, the numbers he hit, the hat-tricks he hit, the trophies he won and all that. No one's making that up. That's not an opinion. That's facts. And then look at Henry and the same. So the Arsenal fans will have their point of view on Henry. I've got mine on Aguero. I just think in my opinion,
bias, is what you're trying to say.
No, I just think in my opinion, for what I've just laid out on the table, I don't even know what the fuck that means. Because legendary bias. Stop making words up for Twitter, man. No one gives a fuck about that. I'm talking facts, yeah.
No, what I'm trying to say is everyone sees Thierry Henry as a GOAT. Everyone sees Thierry Henry as that guy.
Well, let's some neutrals. Let's some neutrals, I guess.
So with the Aguero point, yeah, I think one of the sticks that people beat him with is, I don't think he's won many golden boots, right?
I know, but but another argument, right?
I don't care about that.
What is a golden boot?
I don't care.
Who cares? Would you rather Thierry Henry win the golden boot or the Premier League?
You won both.
Yeah, but that leads me to my next.
Do you know,
point,
people
right?
like, he didn't win a Golden Boot. He didn't get in the team of the year. Who cares? He won the trophies. He won the Premier League.
But when you're talking, so that's what I'm saying. So, but when you're talking facts, we have to talk about facts with Thierry Henry. Henry was. When Henry was in his pomp, he wasn't just the best striker in the league. We're talking arguably the best striker on the planet.
Should have had the Ballon d'Or.
I don't think at any point in Aguero's time, I know we're only talking Premier League, but I don't think at any point in Aguero's time for Man City, he has ever been the best striker on the planet. And I think that's one thing that sticks out like a sore thumb for me. And I think another thing you got... No, I don't think so.
And there was better strikers in Henry's era.
Exactly. And another thing you have to mention with Kun, which in favour of him, which is why I think he's firmly number 2 for me, is Aguero had loads of injury problems. The guy was getting injured. He would probably miss, I would say, maybe around 10 plus games for Man City each season.
But the fact that he's where he is with the goals...
And that's what I was going to say. That's what I was going to say. So
and he still outscored Henry.
The guy in less minutes as well.
The guy is getting injured left, right and centre, and he's still putting up 20 plus goals every season.
And you got to remember, we was the challenger them times. Man City were the pace setters.
We're trying to say.
So it was very different. When we didn't have the money United had, same way Liverpool didn't have the money that City have had. So if you look at City's team and the money and the quality all round, and you compare it to Arsenal's, okay, there's a like for like, but they're definitely off the pitch in terms of complementing him year in, year out. I feel like Man City were far ahead in that sense, because year in, year out, you'd buy quality players. And
I don't know, we won the league and signed Scott Sinclair, Javi Garcia and Jack Rodwell and lost the league to Man United, the worst Man United team ever.
We bought Francis Jeffers.
That's more a case of you spending money poorly as opposed to not being able to spend.
You also bought Dennis Bergkamp and that when no one could afford Dennis Bergkamp.
That was before Henry's time. You know what it is? Okay. I want to big up Aguero, because Aguero's second in my list as well. I want to refrain from kind of making it.
But I'm just saying, if Aguero had the stats Henry had, and Henry had the stats that Aguero had, everyone would be saying Henry's clear of Aguero, because look at the facts. But because Aguero beats him in everything, apparently it's like, well, no, because Henry can do this, and he had this is what I'm saying.
Can I just say something?
Go on.
There's one player that's got 20 goals and 20 assists in this league.
Henry.
There's only one other player in world football that's done that. Messi. So it's all good and well saying goals and this, that, and that, but we've already got golden boots. We've taken that. 20 goals, 20 assists, we've taken that. And if I ask, who would you prefer one-on-one running at the goalkeeper? I'd say Henry.
Overall better player.
I'd say Henry.
No, but you say overall better player, but like I think we're doing Henry a disservice here by saying as a natural striker, because Henry was ice cold in front of goal with both feet, ice cold in front of goal. He literally, like every single time you see a striker now place it bottom corner, you're thinking Henry, because he had that finesse, finesse finish on smash.
Can I add as well? So the reason why, for me, Aguero has outshone him statistically, which you give credit to Aguero 100%, that's why he's second in my list, is because Henry didn't just stay up front. Henry drifted. He dropped deep. He come wide. Now, obviously, that's because he's got a more bag of tricks than Aguero in terms of he's more an all-round footballer. He's going to give the pass. He's going to do the step over. He's going to give the skill. But I don't think, again, you take that away from him. Same way you wouldn't take it away from Rooney. I don't think you take it away from Henry and say, because you didn't stay in the box, in the penalty box, and wait for the ball to come to you from a David Silva, we're going to penalise you. I think we say, do you know what? Your finishing was cold. You put the statistics up, and you didn't beat Aguero because you moved around a lot, but that's because you're incredible footballer.
That is the reason why he's come out on top. Like, we've not been biased in terms of this. That is the reason, because I think that is... And a lot of people do put that into consideration, all those points that you've made. Because, yes, as a goal scorer per se, you can't argue with the facts. But then we're saying the top striker. We haven't said who's the best goal scorer. We haven't said goal scorer. We haven't said who's the best goal scorer, because it will be the best goal scorer.
Yeah, exactly. That would just be the list.
We've said the top striker.
Yeah.
And
you don't. I don't think you just narrow
to just goals.
Striker down just to goals.
I think
because otherwise Anelka would be higher.
This is a very good point you made there. That's what I want to know as well. As a striker, we don't need to conclude it to goals. He came in Henry drifted.
You have to have goals.
You have to have goals. Don't get me wrong. But as a striker,
and also Aguero did change the type of striker. I agree. Diminutive, small, not physically.
That was Carlos Tevez first, but
no. But what I mean, he took it to another level. You got to remember, Henry came as a skinny little winger
that failed in Italy.
In Italy, nothing. He was a winger who's turned into, And he revolutionised the way he played that role, man. Under Wenger, yeah. So maybe that's not talked about enough as well.
Yeah, I think it's very close.
Yeah,
I'm just fighting my man's because I see all these shots and nobody lays. Everyone gives him credit, and I just think, well, you've got to give him credit because he's in the same conversation as Thierry Henry.
Yeah,
and Thierry Henry's unbelievable.
Yeah.
So for me to come on here as a City fan and just agree with everyone, I'm not going to do that. I'm just laying the facts out for Serge, and I watch Serge week in, week out, and some of the things I used to think to him, you've got no right to do that.
Yeah.
You've got no right to score them goals. You go to Tottenham, he's scoring 3 and 4s, 5 goals, whatever, and people are like, what? And I'm like,
similar to Suarez, but
But Henry can score every goal that Aguero scored. Aguero can't score every goal that Henry scored. Aguero can't pick it up in the opposition in his own half and run the entire pitch in a derby and bury it with his weaker foot.
But also likewise, Aguero has different qualities that suited him. But again, Henry was just
everything.
And that's what made him so scary.
I think you know what though. What I would say though with Aguero is even though Henry, you're right, there are some goals that Henry couldn't score. I think when it comes to strikers who can score goals outside the box, I'm struggling to think of a striker better than Aguero.
Outside the box?
Outside the box.
As in like consistently scoring goals outside the box.
He scored a lot of goals.
I'm struggling.
Henry for sure.
I don't agree with that, yeah.
And Turkish, you just said about in dribbling the goal.
I'm struggling. I think
Saeed at Old Trafford, he got the ball, the edge of the halfway line, he ran through the whole United team to the edge of the box and put it right in the top corner.
I think it's him.
No, he's capable. He's absolutely capable of it, but no,
and
I don't
everyone
agree
is
with that,
forgetting
Toby.
the 93-20 moment of all players that would land to that takes some bottle to do that. The fact he took a touch, and then he put it in the 93. So for me, listen, we'd be here all day.
We'll be here all day.
I'm not disrespecting. I am not disrespecting. I am not disrespecting Thierry Henry.
But again, we're
talking about Champions League final, man.
I'm just saying for the viewers, for the viewers, you know, we're going to get the Arsenal boys and the City boys, but talk it out. You know what I mean? It's a great debate. And the fact that Sergio Aguero is even in that debate, I'm proud. But I'm fighting my man's corner.
Done well, Steve.
Turkish is fighting his man's corner. But the fact that they're the top, they're the top ahead of people. I'd never think a Manchester City player would be up there in my lifetime. You know what I mean? I had Barry Conlon running about. You don't even know who he is. Chrissy's looking at me thinking, who is he talking about?
If I'm struggling, these kids are lost.
This is what I'm saying. We swapped Paul Walsh. We swapped Paul Walsh and Cash for Jerry Creaner. Jerry Creaner's bigger than me.
Now you're just making stuff up.
So Sergio Aguero for me, you know, but Thierry Henry, man.
Before we move on to the first place, and we've already discussed him in detail here, like I said, I want to refrain from making it all about me trying to put down Aguero and likewise with Steve. Aguero's got the greatest moment in Premier League history. I'll give him that 100%. That moment in the last few seconds, winning the league in the way he done it,
can't be topped.
Will go down in history.
Can't be topped. No.
He's one of the best strikers, second in my list for sure.
Yeah,
you said close.
It's not close for me.
It's not close
at all.
It's not close at all. I mean, Henry was just different class.
No chance.
That's what it is. Top strikers, both of them, but Henry was a different class to everyone.
Agree.
The reason I said close is the reason I said close is because of the striker element.
The goals.
The goals.
Matisse clarified.
But as a footballer, I've said if it's like as a footballer, Henry is clear.
It's clear,
yeah. But as a striker,
that's another argument. But it's about strikers, isn't it?
This category was striker, and therefore. Those
because a lot of things that we're talking about with Henry wasn't done as a striker role. It was done as a playmaker or winger.
I think it was done as a striker though.
Yeah, it was.
He was a different type of striker, isn't it?
Yeah, but he was playing. He was playing striker.
Yeah,
he was playing striker.
But the way they played,
he just drifted left all the time.
See, what we need to what we can imagine these kind of debates moving forward into the next couple of years will be extra positions created.
Bro.
So now we're going to talk about best target man.
Yeah,
best
inside forward.
Best
that's how
inside
football's
forward.
going.
That's false nine and so on.
False nine.
Henry could do a lot. If you wanted him to stay in the box, he's going to.
But I don't think he would be the best.
But because of the moments that the Arsenal fans experience with Henry, you'll never ever change their mind.
No chance.
And because of the moments I experienced with Sergio, you'll never ever change my mind. But what I wanted to do on this show was just lay out the facts for Sergio. Let the people in the chat, the neutrals. I respect everyone's opinion. You know, people saying Henry, you know, you're saying Henry, whatever. I respect it. But I'm just saying, in my opinion, for what I saw, it's Sergio. And obviously Turkish for what he saw, it's Thierry Henry. But the fact that they're both there, it is credit to the clubs and the teams and players.
the greatest indicator for Henry's greatness, I know the 2020 thing is fair, but again, similar to the point around which striker did we mention? Wayne Rooney. When Ronaldo left for Real Madrid and this player left, Thierry Henry in his last Arsenal's last season at Highbury, when they had to basically play a 16-year-old Cesc Fabregas, Vieira had left, Bergkamp past his best. Like, it was literally a team on its knees, and this guy literally single-handedly carried them to the Champions League final. Obviously the defence and carried them to the Champions League final en route to scoring 25, 26 goals in the league.
A hat-trick on the last day at
Highbury. On the last day at Highbury against what? Wigan? Was it Wigan?
Wigan.
So, like, for me, it's mad speaking about Arsenal player like this, but like Thierry Henry, I hold him. Thierry Henry. Honestly, when we talk Henry, the only striker I could in my lifetime I'll ever place above Henry is phenomenal. That's it. Literally,
them two are the two most fair strikers.
That's it.
You know.
Let me just round up the list quickly from 5th to 2nd. Kane in 5th with 4 points. Then you have Rooney on 10 points in 4th. Shearer 3rd, 15 points. Aguero 2nd, 24 points. And the King is 1st, 29 points. Not a full house, not 30. You know why? How we move. As close as you can get. I do want to start, obviously not starting because we're already talking about Henry, but I'm surprised at Toes because I just remember, I don't know if Steve remembers this, but David James in goal, rocket into the top corner, Henry from outside the box. Saeed will remember this. Back to goal, Perez into
the
Henry.
long shot.
That's the first game I watched.
I was surprised by
around the corner.
I think both of them got a nice catalogue of long shots, but I wouldn't say Henry has.
And free kicks. I mean, what was it? Away to Roma, was it? A hat trick.
Yeah. Scored a free kick against Wigan as well. I think at their ground when is it enough?
Remember the referee was like back and
Thierry Henry destroyed us at Main Road. Well, I think they won 5-0, and we gave him a standing ovation, and he walked around the Main Road. It was at Main Road, and I was one that gave him a standing ovation. I just thought, fucking hell, man, I can't live up with that.
But you know the point I was making with the Aguero, like, maybe I should have articulated it better. I don't mean like, king of long shots. I know we spoke about Shearer shooting outside the box, but there was a certain type of shot that I feel like
he would shift it half a yard, bang,
and bend it top bang. Someone like he put so much power, and yet there was so much spin on the shot. Like I genuinely haven't seen a striker hit a ball from the angle the way Aguero does, and he'd always find top bins every time. I think he did it against he's done it against Newcastle, did it against Chelsea, did it against Swansea on his debut. Like
he didn't need much space to score.
He just
shifted from many angles.
Shift on his left,
even against Liverpool in the title game when John Stones off the line, and he's so tight, and he blasted it past Alisson that fast. Alisson was like, "Where's that?"
That's all he needed. He just needed a little bit of space.
They talk about it as the Aguero finish, isn't it? You know, the near post, roof of the net, acute angle, no space, backlift, bang. That's what I wanted.
And because obviously we're speaking. Because we were speaking about Henry when we were talking about Aguero, but like we have to. Henry is in his class of his own, but we have to give Aguero his flowers as well because like there are specific 100%. Goals.
No, but if we,
that goal that
the fact they put him number 2 in the all-time
the goal, he deserves it, man.
But what I'm saying is there were specific goals that Aguero scored. I don't think any other striker I've seen score those type of goals in the Premier League.
It'll always be a strong debate. It will be, and it is what it is. But like you say,
it's about to be above Shearer as well.
I'm not going to argue that Sergio Aguero's been beat by Thierry Henry.
Well, there you
argue
go.
that.
Yeah, I mean, I know Steve started it with, Henry had the pace, he had the power in his runs, and I agree with that, but we can't look past his skill either.
No, he was good. He was a skillful player.
Drug a Benito, mate.
Yeah, I mean...
Listen, what was that one game against Middlesbrough, something like that? Played it into Reyes. Don't want to flicked it between his legs.
But the back heel?
Yeah, the back heel. In general, like...
Don't forget Danny Mills in the corner.
Danny Mills in the corner. And then I think it was just devastating. Pace, he could beat you for pace, could beat you for skill.
You know what it is though? It's the aura.
It's the aura as well.
Van Dijk with the aura.
Well,
Henry would make you as a defender, and I'll
now you're getting into like leadership and character and attitude. Yeah.
I'll use Liverpool experience. Everyone's talking about their experience. Facing Henry was
scary.
I don't watch. You don't watch. You don't have to. You have to be scared. Like the way Gerrard speaks about him, and Gerrard don't speak about many people like in that kind of aura. Carragher said, my God, like they talk about him, he terrorized defenders.
Cheeky,
terrorized defenders. Yep. Like you was beaten. And not many strikers have that aura in the game.
In the game, where you're petrified.
Obviously, we're talking phenomenal, like Ronaldo, that levels. I don't put Henry in that level. You know, some may, some
category
may not.
just below.
I get it.
Yeah,
I get it.
For me, he was the king. But I know these days we talk about Mbappe being the closest thing to Ronaldo.
Mbappe.
Hello, Daniel Sturridge.
What's he on, really? I
think he's trying to change himself.
Too much.
He's
trying to change himself.
He's reviving.
He's trying to everything. You see, when you try and make a
D-Sturridge has
social
always
media
been that guy.
career.
Though. He's cool. Please, I won't let anyone slander D-Sturridge. He's that guy. But Henry, I'm not sure. I don't know what you guys think. What was missing from him for me to be in that Ronaldo category?
Champions League with Arsenal.
No,
in the
no, in his play. No, in his play. I don't know if Turkish, probably the best person to speak to because he speaks the most highly of him and rightly so. But there was, and this is not slander, Henry. We just named him the best striker ever in Premier League history. But there was something that didn't.
The only difference is Ronaldo
Did he fulfill his potential?
No, but Ronaldo was doing it earlier.
Yeah, the only difference between the two is Ronaldo done it with Brazil at the World Cup, whereas when France won it, Zidane was the guy, and Henry's pretty much forgotten. But he had. How old was he? Henry actually has 6.
He was a kid, yeah.
Henry has 6 goals in 3 Euro tournaments, 6 goals in 3 World Cups. I think that's a decent record to have. But record. Because Zidane is the equivalent to Ronaldo at Brazil in terms of the GOAT. That's why Henry didn't get maybe the flowers.
No. But I want to talk about his actual gameplay's attributes. It maybe not attitude, but laid back style. Like Ronaldo was intense.
Henry was.
I think Ronaldo scored a lot of scruffy goals as well. If you look at some of the R9 goals that he got, they were literally fox in the box kind of goals as well. And with Henry, like you say, he drifted wide a lot.
Maybe was that missing the fox in the
scored
box
a
to make
spectacular.
him
I can't remember. I mean, you'll be able to tell me. I can't remember Thierry just arriving late and sliding at the back post and tapping it in or out like that. It was always something.
Because we really sacrificed for the team as well. And Henry had to drift wide sometimes.
I mean, Thierry Henry always come looking for the ball. Was he that player that always stayed in the box for a scrappy knockback or a deflection and put it in? But I don't know. That's the only difference I could really see.
But nobody has a perfect career, though. This is the beauty.
Yeah.
This is like going through the balance sheet and you're missing a couple 0, 0.
Yeah, but this is the beauty of football, man. We just should look at the
online is online. Sorry.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
Maybe the comments. Maybe the comments section.
It's closer between R9 and Henry than it is Henry and Aguero.
Agree.
That's my opinion.
I agree.
That's my opinion. I think they're both class. But we pretty much rounded it up, people. I think we're about 40 minutes or so in. Hope you all have enjoyed. It's up to you who you vote 6th. I'm going to run down the list again. In 5th, 4 points Kane. 4th, 10 points Rooney. 3rd, 15 points Shearer. In 2nd place, 24 points Sergio Aguero. And in first place, we have the king, Thierry Henry, 29 points. And I even forgot to mention when he returned for that January loan, a massive risk. He took 3 shots on his return. 3 shots, scored 3 goals.
Sunderland, Leeds.
That's it.
Who was the other one?
Sunderland, Leeds, and
Fulham. Was it Fulham? I can't remember. You won it 2-1.
Somebody, yeah.
That was a mad comeback. Every football fan just watched that and be like, that was nice.
Yeah, the Leeds one was like.
I hated that though.
But it was necessary.
You lot got 3rd that season. We got 4th.
Yeah.
We missed out on Champions.
Isn't Vavavoom in the Oxford Dictionary now because of my man? Vavavoom is in the Oxford Dictionary.
Oh shit!
We're gonna call it a day there. You guys in the comment section, guys and girls, vote for 6th place. I'm gonna pin a comment like I said. Make sure you place your votes under that.
Who's the options? How do we work this? Who's the?
Oh yeah, let's
do honourable mentions for 6th place.
Let's look at who missed out. Alright, cool.
There's honourable mentions.
Can we? I guess we're all gonna.
I'm going to start with one that I think it's a disgrace that he's in none of our lists, and that's Eric Cantona. 4 league titles. He's probably the
thing is
no, but he didn't make the AM number 10 list either. So I thought, well, I'm going to try and get him in here
because it was just beyond my time, so I didn't actually watch him.
I put Cantona on my list for AMs.
No, but he didn't make the final list. Yeah, he didn't make the finals. And Cantona won 4 leagues. If you're talking about Shearer in the 90s, you're talking about Cantona in the 90s too. Yeah. He had that flair. He had that pizzazz. He had the...
I would have put him in there, but Wayne Rooney meant more to me than Cantona.
No, I hear you before your time. So Cantona's one. Van Nistelrooy's another that's missed out. Drogba's another. Player. Andy Cole. and Suarez. That's the ones that have got points.
I'm going to say if there was another 3 seasons, and obviously 3 seasons, if there was another 2-3 seasons, Suarez gets in there for me because he was that good.
I agree.
He's wild.
If we're talking about like, obviously that's the greatest ever strikers, but if we're talking about the best strikers to have played in the Premier League, Suarez is without a doubt in that list.
He's the only one who he went to Barcelona where Messi was and elevated that team. Barcelona.
MSN.
If there's one name that that's not in the top 5 that you would put in the top 5, Grizz, who would it be?
Suarez for me.
Tobes? Or are you happy with the list? It's either or.
But I've been fair.
Suarez or Van Persie for me.
Wow. Saeed?
It'd be Van Persie or Van Nistelrooy.
Steve?
I liked Andy Cole and Ian Wright.
Ian Wright, honourable mention as well. Right. Yeah. 100%.
But this is from where Ian Wright came from, non-league. Yeah.
Coming
the way he wanted it, the hunger, just for me, it was old school. But Andy Cole was the same.
Yeah.
Andy Cole, when he signed for Man United, I was in school and some United fans in our high school, they printed pictures of black and white pictures of Andy Cole in a United shirt, hundreds of them, and they sellotaped them all around the school. And we came out of the lesson, and obviously we didn't have social media. I'm just seeing Andy Cole in the United shirt. I'm thinking, what the fuck's going on here? And then one of the teachers went, seen it, because he knew I was a blue, seen it. Went, what? He went, Man United signed Andy Cole. It was like someone just stabbed me in the chest, man. As a Man City fan, they're all bouncing, Andy Cole. He gets the ball, he scores a goal. Andy Cole. I think I ended up cracking someone, got suspended. But
sounds about right.
Bad mate, man. It's bad, man, in them days.
When Big Steve was Little Steve.
Yeah, but Andy Cole, man. Andy Cole could finish, mate.
Brilliant.
Finish.
Absolutely brilliant.
That season at Newcastle, Premier League years.
Yeah.
Kevin Keegan coming out on the steps of Newcastle to explain to the fans why they sold him. You wouldn't get that now, would it? You know what I mean? He came out and he's like, look, I'm the manager, trust me. They got Keith Gillespie in exchange and 7 mil, which at the time was unbelievable money,
1994.
But Andy Cole, but Ian Wright as well. I remember Wright at Palace when he equalised against United in the FA Cup. And
lively.
Yeah, man.
Ian Wright was.
But attitude as well, though. Aggression, bit of cockiness, goal tooth, Image Schmeichel, boom, 50-50, all that. Loved all that shit.
You know who's another, like, obviously the Jermaine Defoe is
someone. You mentioned Defoe.
Jermaine Defoe as well.
Is he not like
I don't think he belongs in this conversation.
No, I'm saying
honourable mentions.
Okay.
Don't be trying to shoe on any Tottenham.
I didn't put him in
Tottenham
top 5. I said Suarez over.
But you like Grizz last year, every shoe on in Liverpool plays in and that.
Do you remember last time when Grizz was like, in about 3 years, he'll be in the list. He'll be in the list.
We'll be talking about Trent in 3 years. He's just made the England squad because 10 fullbacks got injured.
We're going to do it. We're going to do this.
So I asked
and
you.
Jimmy Floyd as well. Jimmy Floyd has to be.
Fair shout.
Jimmy Floyd, yeah.
Fair shout. Grizz has gone with Suarez in terms of honourable mention. Tobes has mentioned Suarez and Van P. Saeed's gone Van P. I've said Cantona. Steve's gone with Andy Cole. Matisse?
Drogba, didn't he?
Yeah, I'm happy with the list. That's exactly how my list was, just not in the same order. But I think if you're taking, it's just a shame. It's a shame for me that Drogba's best 2 seasons weren't more apparent, because if they were, if he has, say, maybe 2 more of those, like Suarez,
he's in the
takes the peak, he's in and around there, because he was ridiculous.
He was, yeah.
But Drogba had the aura, man. That's why.
Again, he had the aura, and he was.
If anyone knows on this table,
he was like the certain teams that he decided that are the problem. He took those teams to heart, and he said, "All right, cool. You're not gonna see 3 points again in your life." So Drogba, he wasn't all about goal scoring. He assisted Lamps with a lot of his goals as well. But he changed that role as well. That target man, that hold up play, that bully, those free kicks, the headers, just. So I have to give Drogba a mention, but he didn't get enough goals. That's the problem.
He didn't
get enough goals.
But what he was, Drogba, is like there's certain strikers in world football when you say like unplayable, right?
Yeah.
He was unplayable.
Even if he's not scoring, he's a nuisance.
Yeah. And the thing is, the way he, like, we talk about strikers who refine their game, like the way he refined his game, is not free kicks, playmaking.
Yeah.
To be fair, he's always had the playmaking gene in him, but his game just got so refined as he grew older. I remember there was a daft comparison going around on Twitter a couple of days back, because this
every international break happens.
And they were saying Giroud or Drogba who had a career. And I saw it, and I literally wanted to jump through my phone and punch.
Is it a Chelsea fan that tried it?
Slide tackle Twitter.
He's a nice guy. He's a nice guy.
I know who it was. Yeah.
I just couldn't believe it.
I know who it was.
As a Chelsea fan as well, do you not feel any kind of shame saying this?
Have you not embarrassed?
Didier Drogba, this guy who literally gave you Champions League, gave you your moment.
FA Cups, everything.
You put
man stole a few FA Cups
next
off
to
us,
him.
man.
Don't make me sick, man.
Yeah.
Don't make me sick. Don't piss me off when it comes to Drogba. Nah,
Mad,
man.
man.
Didier
And when he scored the offside goal.
Didier Drogba is one of the greatest. In fact, I think top 3 greatest African strikers. Top 2 greatest African strikers.
He gets disrespected in every international.
There's people like
top 2, top 3. Eto'o number 1.
there's people like
Okay, yeah, he's there.
Yeah. So them 3. Yeah, I get it. That's fair.
hey,
That's
there's
fair.
people like
every international.
Robbie Fowler, yeah,
He was
Michael Owen, Les Ferdinand. Not the greatest of numbers, but proper strikers. Like back in the day, they could finish.
Yeah.
Fowler was a great finisher.
For me, look, Liverpool fans ask me who's the greatest finisher I've ever seen in terms of Liverpool strikers, obviously. And obviously everyone talks about Torres and Suarez and
Fowler.
so many. Michael Owen, Fowler was
Disgusting.
in terms of natural.
Fowler scored
talent.
them mad goals as well. He wasn't big in stature, but he'd get them where the ball's sort of under his feet, and you think, what's he going to do now? And he just digs it out, bang, it's in the bottom corner. You think, how's he even scored that?
And people are like, Fowler, and I was like, yeah, you need to watch Fowler. I've seen him live in the flesh. Fowler was the best finisher I've ever
He
seen.
played for us late in his career, and he when we signed him from Leeds when they were skint, and he was
He just took everybody's legends.
yeah, Schmeichel and Chelsea, George Weah, Paolo One Shot,
Quite a few.
Sure,
Did you have Anelka as well?
Anelka.
Yeah.
Anelka had his best season at City, I think.
few of us had
Do you know what?
Anelka.
Yeah, Anelka.
Yeah.
Anelka deserves a shout because
Anelka
he's a
could
bit
finish.
of a journeyman, but he went to Chelsea, took the golden boot.
That's what made
He was
it.
at Arsenal, he's at Liverpool, he's at City,
The
Bolton.
worst
He was
decision-
unbelievable at
You
Bolton.
didn't sign him.
The worst
Right.
transfer in the history of
Loan.
Liverpool Football Club
Loan.
was
No.
when we didn't
Right.
sign
You got El
Nelka. And you know who we
Hadji
got instead?
El Hadji.
El Hadji.
Right, but listen to the other story. And then we got him, and we played you last game of the season. You had to beat us at Anfield to
I know.
get into Champions League, and we beat you, and Anelka scored.
Anelka scored the goal.
A volley right in the top
Unbelievable
corner.
finisher.
That
That's
was a
what
20-yard
makes it
year ago.
one-on-one.
We was there. That's the only time we beat Anfield.
We mentioned Hasselbank, great shout because he could do everything, both feet, header, everything. The guy was just ridiculous. But Anelka is one of the coldest finishers I've seen at Chelsea.
Anelka could
when
finish, man.
when we won the title and when he won the Golden Boot as well, I think he scored a last goal. His last goal was at Sunderland or something, just top corner. He just used to just every time he's 1-on-1 or any time he's in any
Goal.
I'm not gonna
situation,
lie.
goal.
I'm not gonna lie. Turkish is not gonna like this. Well, he's not gonna like it because he knows Henry. They're both his boys. But growing up, I thought Anelka, talent-wise, yeah.
No,
That's how much I rated Anelka.
People have said that before.
The young Nicholas Anelka, guys.
Yeah.
Probably maybe a few people ahead of your time, maybe us three, mate.
When
He
we
was
left that,
frightening
I
me.
was gutted.
Nicholas
I was
Anelka.
frightening.
But
He was
that's
frightening.
fair.
Nicholas Anelka was
Frightening.
so good.
But Anelka
But
started
in
what,
terms of
17?
attitude
17,
and,
no. 17.
you know,
As soon as he, done what he did,
Done what
he
he
was
did.
off.
When did Henry
That was
blossom?
it.
Around 22, innit? When he came to Arsenal, what was it? 22.
People need to go and read
Anelka
what
was 17.
Wenger says about
22,
Nicola Anelka.
That's what I'm saying. Nicholas
And
was
it's like-
17.
But
17.
you lot got crazy dough from him for
Yeah, mad
Madrid,
money.
so they had
Mad
to-
money.
they had to
We
sell
got
him.
20 million plus Davor Suker, who had just been the top.
And you
actually,
pay
nah,
what? You pay
he
him
was top
500k,
World Cup 98.
something like that.
Yeah.
World Cup 98.
Who?
That's why David Suker.
Everything. That's what I mean. He became a journeyman.
That's why it made it a little bit. You don't want
If
to
he had
put
a
him in there.
guiding hand or someone to, I don't know, you know what I mean? Like a
He had a great time at City. Then he left City. We was in turmoil. He went to Fenerbahce. Then he came back and went to Bolton. He had a fantastic time at Bolton. Fantastic time at Bolton.
I think for me as well, Berbatov, man. I know a lot of people don't talk about it, but just in terms of
in
it.
the top 10.
No, I'm just saying that's an
rude boy
honourable
though.
mention.
Rude
But
boy.
what a player, man.
Yeah.
Like he'd be walking, but still he'd be doing something
He's brilliant.
silky.
He was brilliant.
You know what I mean? And I
Yeah.
thought for me, that 2010-11 season when we won the league.
If we're talking
Unbelievable.
technical strikers, then he's top
He's up
3.
there. Bro.
It's hard to
Chat
even. It's
to
hard
me.
to even not
Teddy
say top 2.
Sheringham's underrated, man.
Yep, absolutely.
When he came to Man United, that was a signing. When he was at
Absolutely.
Forest, he was brilliant.
Too many. But this
There
is what I
is.
mean. This is why when we're talking about sort of
Robbie Keane.
arguing between
Mention
1,
him.
2, and 3, we need
Listen,
to
I'm
mention
Irish
him.
and I'm looking at you
I'm
like
going to
this.
mention him. Listen,
He-
if
he's
we're
a good
talking 100
striker.
club, he's there.
No, good player,
Bro.
mate.
He is in there, yeah.
Really good player.
I don't think for this convo though.
Yeah.
No.
On that note, before Steve says Haaland or something like that, let's.
Yeah.
No. In 10 years, yeah. We're doing this show in 10 years. Haaland will be number 1, innit? Norwegian flop. If you stop playing, he won the Golden Boot already now, even if he stops.
Alright, we're gonna call it a day here, people. And we've got more content to record, so make sure you subscribe. Make sure the notification bell is on. In 5th place, it was Kane. Rooney in 4th. Shearer in 3rd. Sergio Aguero 2nd. Thierry Henry in 1st place. But I'm sure you all guessed it before the video even started. But I want to know what you guys think for the 6th place. We've just mentioned a whole heap of names. It's up to you guys who finishes 6th. This is the top 6 Premier League strikers of all time. And we're going to move on to the top goalkeepers of all time, full stop, next. So make sure you're right here tuned in. Love for the love, people. We are out. Peace.